prosegue. Il Butter School è saltato, non abbiamo visto come, caspiterina, però lo stesso il vantaggio del giocatore di Tarmo Twin si sta facendo sentire. Sono due giganti entrambi, quindi sembrano quasi anche piccoli. Quindi aspettate un solo secondo e vedremo l'intervista. Ancora un minuto. Intanto vediamoci la partita. Io qua cambio le carte che mi ha dato fastidio questo Casali che ormai è un po' superato. È entrato un Pestermite, dall'altra parte c'è un Tarmogoyf di Future Sight, quindi esistono. Gol. Ha fatto gol Tevez. Sì, lasceremo sempre la partita in un angolo, quindi rimanete sintonizzati e poi vi terremo aggiornati. Patto Exile su Pestermite. Sta facendo una bella partita a soffietto, pur partendo molto male per il fatto che ha mulligato, cioè che ha saltato il terzo mulligan, però se la sta giocando lo stesso, vediamo, è tesissima. Ora l'altro gli ha fatto Patto Exile e lui sta cercando la landa. Ora vediamo un po', isola, entra l'isola che porta a 7 lande. Purtroppo non ha potuto rimbalzarsi il Butter School in risposta alla rimozione. Adesso vediamo un pochino com'è la situazione. Ha un'altra landa in mano il nostro Caroli, che ha un problema. È un problema molto grosso. Volete sentire il match, vedete vedere il match full e ragazzi, non capita tutte le volte di intervistare un giocatore così, un disegnatore così importante. Passo la parola al mio amico Massimo e
Allora, eccoci qua. Dunque, ora vi passerò direttamente Francesco, che sarà lui che condurrà l'intervista. Hai cambiato camera, Roberto? Vai, la 4. Ok, ecco qui Francesco, quindi l'intervista sarà in inglese come avevamo già spiegato, poi eventualmente verrà tradotta e sottotitolata più avanti nei prossimi giorni. Quindi a te la parola Francesco.
Sì, ciao a tutti, come dicevamo l'intervista sarà in lingua inglese per Steve e per non creare continue interruzioni sarà interamente in inglese, ma poi verrà anche successivamente tradotta e trascritta nei prossimi giorni sul sito. Um, so, welcome here Steve to our Italian Magic Tour event. Are you enjoying your time here?
Absolutely, yeah. Everything here has been great so far. The players are great. The city has been great. We've really enjoyed being here so far.
Great. Okay, so I know all of our fans are interested in you. You're very famous in the Magic community, as you may know, of course. So there's some things we'd like to ask you. So, for example, how did you start your artistic career, and what did you study to become an artist?
Well, what I studied to become an artist was chemistry, and I failed miserably. So I was in school for chemistry, and I ran out of money, and I was failing, and I just did a whole bunch of jobs from the classifieds in the newspaper. And at the time, everything was internet stuff. Like everybody needed a website in a hurry, and they needed logos and stuff. So most of the work that was there was artistic, even though that wasn't really what I was looking for. And so I did a whole bunch of these little logos and mascots and things like that. And I was just planning on going for the summer and making enough money to go back to school and hopefully stop failing. But toward the end of the summer, I found a job that was at a studio and it was full time. So I thought, I'll give it a shot. And basically, that was the start of my career. And I just went from one place to the next, kind of at bigger studios. After about 8 years at different studios, I decided to just be a freelancer and do it all myself.
So not what people might expect, but that makes it just all more interesting. So you started as an artist, and how did you get into magic? And what are your exactly what are you working on exactly on the magic community right now?
So the way that I got hooked up with magic was I was at Gen Con in like 2007 or maybe 2006, and I had done a little bit of work for other card games, and I'd done a little bit of work for Wizards of the Coast, but just little things here and there. And I was really excited because I knew that the art director, Jeremy Jarvis, was going to be there. And so I got a chance to meet him. We were hanging out with all the other artists and art directors, and just at like the bar. So we're talking about all kinds of things, you know, crappy places that we've lived, stupid things we did as kids, how we should both be dead because we've just done these stupid things, and we're like trading stories. We're showing each other scars, that sort of thing, and we're just having a great time. And I never even mention I'm an artist, and I just feel stupid, right? Because I go home from Gen Con, I'm like, oh God, I was talking with him, I had a great time, and I didn't. He has no idea who I am. He doesn't know what my work is, and if I send my stuff in now, he's not gonna. Oh, son of a. So, I send him an email and I say, hey, I'd really like to work on Magic. I know you probably don't remember me, and you get 1,000 emails, and you met 100 billion people at Gen Con, but here's my portfolio. I know you're not gonna look at it, but I had a great time anyways. Bye. And he writes me back and he goes, oh yeah, actually I saw all of your stuff, and I was like, I kind of want to hire this guy. I want to talk to him about Magic, and it just kind of never came up because we were talking about other things. So he gave me my first card, which was kind of in between sets, and it was the full art textless Ponder promo card. And then after that, I just got a few every set. I started with Shards of Alara and been going ever since.
Wow. So that's the one was one of a job interview. No, not exactly. So yeah. Since Shard of Alara, so was it like 2007?
Something like that, somewhere around 2007.
Yes. Okay. And ever since, do you also keep working on other projects? Are you up now in other activities besides for Magic?
Yeah, I work for all kinds of people all the time. I would love to do more Magic. Like, Magic is hands down my favorite thing to work on. It's just so creative and colorful and cool, and the story's getting better and better. It's getting bigger and bigger, and so if I could work on just Magic, I would. But there are a lot of artists who feel the same way I do, so we need to kind of spread the work around. But yeah, I work for all kinds of folks. I've done some fun stuff for Star Wars, book covers, things like that. A lot of fun projects, but Magic is the best.
How much freedom you have when you're giving an assignment? Is it like just a vague assignment you can work on, or you have precise artistic details you have to follow?
It's somewhere in between. Like, they have already figured out what the card's going to do, but they don't tell us. And I've tried to get that out of them. You know, what's this card going to do? Because I play Magic, and I want that sneak peek just like everyone else. But what they'll give me is a short paragraph. You know, they'll say, hey, we need an angel. We were kind of thinking it'd be cool if it had maybe a shield with some runes on it, because it's kind of going to do something like this. They'll give us the color, and usually they'll tell us if we need to visually represent a significant, like, bold-faced trait. Like, if it's going to have trample, they'll tell us that, because it's like, this thing needs to be gigantic, huge, just freaky huge. But they will never say, you know, this is going to be the casting cost, or it's going to be here's the power and toughness, or even abilities. They'll give us some vague, like with Deathrite Shaman, I think they said, this is going to have some graveyard utility. That's it. That's as much as I ever get.
So he's like working in a sort of a cemetery for that reason, like.
Yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind. Was it was Golgari. I was familiar with Ravnica, and so I'm like, okay, well, he's definitely gonna have some sort of he's gonna dive into the graveyard and do something. I don't know if it's gonna be that he can fetch something out of it, or that I didn't really guess that he was gonna exile things for goodies, but I knew he was gonna do something. So I kind of wanted that communing with the dead. So he's got the skulls floating around him, and he's kind of really examining one. Sorry.
Of course, the Shaman and Liliana of the Veil are probably the two most famous cards, not only because they're so popular in a lot of formats, from just about anything, from like Legacy to Modern. How much did these two cards change your career, maybe towards the fans, maybe the fact that two so popular cards are were both signed by you? How did this change you?
Well, I certainly got more popular in a hurry. Mostly it was that I started getting invited to a lot more events, things like Grand Prix and pre-releases and things like that. And so I quickly became familiar with the really hardcore collector base, where people, they want the card alterations and they want all kinds of things that I had never really done before. I had never I'd seen them, and I kind of knew that was a thing that people did and wanted, but the first time that somebody plopped down this Liliana in front of me, and I know how expensive those are, and he's like, draw on it. And I'm like, I don't want to ruin your card, but they very much wanted drawing on that, and I think I did okay. I was really intimidated, and I wasn't super happy with how it was turning out. I was struggling a lot with it, so I went and I practiced. You know, like on crappy cards, I figured out how I wanted to do things, and that's kind of how I arrived at what I do now, which is the sort of paint marker alterations.
And tell us more about this particular card, which is, of course, our fans know it's quite the sort of like the theme of the event. We have a live version of Liliana. Were you inspired by anybody in particular? How did her and her like clothing, her expression just came to be?
Well, I can't really take all the credit, because the first artist who did Liliana was Alexei Briclo, and he did a fantastic job in the first place. Just a great character. The whole set of Planeswalkers were great. And then for Innistrad, they decided they wanted to do something a little different, change her look a little bit, and so they had Richard Witters do some concept art, which was phenomenal. It was just gorgeous. And so most of the design for the new Liliana, I can't really take too much credit for. I sort of took Richard's really awesome concept design, and I just sort of figured out which parts were what. Like these sort of squiggly crosshatchy things, I'm going to make that chainmail. But really the majority of it, the cool headdress, the new the boots and everything like that, that's mostly Richard's concept. And so I just kind of tried to add on top of that, and I probably went a little too far, at least as far as the version that I have on my website that's got a little extra detail. But aside from that, I was really inspired by some of the jewelry makers that do a lot with chainmail. You know, they're sort of the cosplay jewelry makers. So I really wanted to put some chains and some cool handmade little jewelry bits, and like all the clasps are like skulls or demon heads, just like no stone unturned. Because what I felt was Liliana, she traded essentially her soul for beauty and youth and power, and she goes through these agonizing scars and cuts to be young and beautiful, and she knows what she's doing. So one of the things I'd always wanted to see was if she traded if she's going for youth and beauty and she's traded her soul for that, we should see her as showing it off, you know, like, this is what I bought.
Yeah.
Take a look. Is it worth it? And so I wanted to do kind of the more beautiful Liliana, rather than the scary, I am going to suck out your life force, and I don't even need it. I'm just going to do it. You know, that horrific Liliana. I wanted to do the pretty one, the alluring, the seductive. Because before she was a planeswalker, before she got her spark, that was what she did.
Yeah.
She was a seductress, an enchantress.
I've read somewhere in the fan base that she can either kill you or make you fall in love with just one look, but either way, it's probably worthwhile. Do you agree with it?
Well, I would rather her not kill me with one look, but I would think the fall in love would be worthwhile. Yeah.
Um, so did you actually when you created this drawing, we know there are several versions, at least two. One of us is the one on the card, and one is the more like detailed version you have on the website. Um, they're very similar, of course. There's some sort of like base which is the same. How exactly do you do that? Is there like a base version which you can actually add on to it, or are they all just look alike, but they are both drawn from scratch, or?
Well, I have multiple versions of a lot of different artwork, and some of it is that I decide later I want to add to it, or what needs to go on the card and what I kind of want to do is a little different. For Liliana in specific, the detailed version is the first one I did, and it was when I turned it in, they said, "Well, okay, we like this. Don't get us wrong, but we're trying to kind of define this look for Innistrad." And so we want this sort of gothic cathedral thing. We want kind of a more pretty dress rather than this kind of crazy outfit that I put together. Like the background that I originally turned in, it had like hooks hanging from the ceiling, and this sort of she's walking over this flaming trench, and so we kind of talked about it, and they said, let's rein it in, get it a little bit more classic gothic, and you can have that version as a promo or whatever, but we want it to look Innistrad and defined Innistrad, whereas this could be something else.
Sì, sì. There are some questions from our fan, and some are asking, what exactly did you think when you saw the real Liliana, which is here? Any your first impression?
Well, the short answer was wow, because they did they picked a beautiful model, and the outfit is perfect. It's every detail is there. It fits well. She's wearing it well. I was a little afraid that she was going to start throwing like zombies at me or something, because she looks really, really authentic. I was very impressed.
Wow. Yes, I guess it's probably one of the most popular comments here. Just to have the two of you, which means not only the designer who made that particular version, of course, but real representation in the same place was something that I guess many people really was shocked to see. Okay, so we have a special guest coming in. Vai. Ok. I'll just... Il campo visivo come arriva fino a qua. Okay. So for if anybody at home could actually have missed her, so she's actually here, Liliana. Sì, siamo online con i nostri fan, quindi se c'è ancora qualcuno che non ha
Scusami, io
avuto...
so parlare inglese perché non continui a parlare inglese.
Andiamo in inglese, perfetto. Okay, so we'll keep on in English, because Liliana in the underworld speaks English, as all zombies speak English, as you may know. So it's her common tongue. So there are some people at home who did not get a chance to come here,
Yes.
but now they can see you. So if you want to say hello.
Dio, scusate. Non ce la faccio. L'ho fatta apposta. Hello, my name is Liliana. Il mio repertorio è finito, quindi
Ti stai divertendo?
molto.
Sicuramente stare seduta. No, non ce la faccio più, quindi basta continuare.
Okay. Who might have known this ironic side of the very dark-looking Liliana is actually she has some hidden sides from her personality, but um, so I guess that will be now we have at least like 3 times the followers looking at our show. So just to go back to Magic, do you actually play Magic? Is it something you enjoy or only drawing it?
Yes, I absolutely play Magic, and I, I waste too much time playing Magic is the thing, and I know that the players are gonna just say there's no such thing. You can't waste too much time, but I would get more cards done if I didn't play as much Magic. I do Commander almost every weekend, and I play the Duels of the Planeswalkers anytime that I'm around in the middle of the night when no one else is. So that's how I find people to play with, and so yeah, I play a lot of Magic.
Well, maybe I guess it helps getting so involved and so into it. And the day is almost at coming to an end. I guess, and you're here for all the weekend, so you've met a lot of people. We had almost 700 people attending the event, which is almost record breaking for Italy. And did you enjoy the Italian fans? Or they anything? Would you say something to your fans following yourself from Italy?
Sì, grazie, grazie. The Italian fans have been fantastic. They've been great. Everybody's been really really nice and kind and respectful, and I mean, I just want to say thank you. I mean, it's you guys have been fantastic.
Yes, we know you come from a really magnificent event, a very rare and GP legacy in Paris. Now you're here in Milan. It's a very busy week, and would you do it again? Are you happy about it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to do it again. I mean, this has been great. Me and my wife came and we had tons of fun just touring around, and the food in Italy is great. We came for Lucca, and we stayed for about a week and a half, and I gained 10 pounds just because the food was so good I could not stop eating. So,
And
I don't know how any of you guys are not just gigantic. Like, how do you have a country of thin people?
well, I'm trying hard. Yes, I can understand. And you'll be here in Lucca also this year, correct?
Yes, I should be.
So we'll be seeing you towards the end of the year for your fans.
Yes, I hope so. I haven't worked out quite everything, but we are planning to go, and we loved it last year, so we're going to do everything we can to get back.
Okay, great. So if any of you didn't get a chance to come to Milan, we do remind you the tour will go on. We'll be in Florence, Rome, Bologna soon, and the dates will be recently announced. Unfortunately, Steve will not be at all of these events, but for you fans, he will be here for Lucca towards the second part of the year. So I'm sure you'll get a chance to meet him again. And I hope you are enjoying the tournament. We'll go back to live coverage. But a last hello from our guest, Liliana. Vuoi salutare?
Come saluto? In italiano o in inglese?
Linguaggio di zombie.
Non lo so. Il linguaggio dei zombie non lo so.
Beh, comunque cos'è che dicono? Che sapresti svegliare i morti, quindi è un complimento.
Sei riuscita oggi?
Oggi, visto che c'erano molti morti, sicuramente ho dato qualcosa a questo evento, sicuramente.
A vedere solo dalle facce, abbiamo fatto delle bellissime foto, non abbiamo dubbi. Ecco, invece Liliana sarà presente agli altri eventi, per cui chi si fosse appunto perso questa giornata, chi volesse rivederla, tenetevi informati sul sito per le date, perché sarà ancora con noi un po' in tutta Italia. Mentre invece salutiamo Steve, we'll say hello to Steve, who will going back home soon. Hello from all of our fan base.
Ciao, it was great. Thank you so much.
Ok, ciao a tutti e ritorniamo a live coverage dell'evento.
Grazie Francesco, grazie Steve, grazie a Liliana per essere venuti qui. E ora appunto riprendiamo la coverage dell'evento. Intanto vi comunichiamo che l'ultimo turno ha visto trionfare Soffietto su Caroli. Junk ha vinto 2-0 sul mazzo di Tarmo Twin di Jimmy. E ora passo la parola un momento a Roberto che insomma ci fa una breve analisi della partita.
Allora, molto molto bella l'intervista, con anche il tocco di classe della nostra Liliana che ha messo un po' di allegria. I commenti sono quintuplicati al suo arrivo. Si vede che conoscete di più Liliana rispetto all'inglese, ragazzi, ma è una cosa un po' comune. Un grande personaggio, vedete, c'è anche qui Liliana che è curiosissima di quello che voi scrivete di lei. Abbiamo capito un pochino la sua personalità, una ragazza sicuramente curiosa, quindi sei più curiosa o più bella? Rispondici a questa domanda.
Più simpatica.
Più simpatica. Qua ci sono un sacco di commenti, state attenti a quello che scrivete perché lei quando passa si ferma a dare...
Bello. Sì, anche a me interessa Liliana, vediamo il retro della sua carta.
Vogliono vedere il retro di Liliana.
Purtroppo non si vede nulla.
Non si vede, c'è il simbolo delle Magic dietro. Comunque adesso è qui con me, se volete scrivere scriveteci, che tanto lei queste cose è curiosa, abbiamo capito la curiosità è il suo forte ed è una bellissima cosa perché è una ragazza giovane che non è interessata al proprio fans club, non andrebbe da nessuna parte. Allora vediamoci un po', intanto c'è un pochino di lag da parte degli utenti ma riprenderanno a breve perché c'è un minuto di lag, non vuol dire che loro leggono, cioè sentono quello che noi diciamo un minuto dopo, quindi adesso probabilmente...
Ho detto che lo sa l'inglese.
Sì, sì, no, sto spiegando perché non vede dei commenti. Adesso loro ti vedono, quindi probabilmente ora inizieranno. Che deve leggere, che bella e amata dai giocatori, no? Visto? Dicono che sei bella, amata dei giocatori. Ci stanno provando anche io a web, è tipico dei giocatori di Magic. Sono nate molte più storie d'amore via web con i giocatori di Magic che dal vivo. Però dai, è una buona cosa, dai. Scrivete pure commenti carini, non fate battute oscene in questo momento, tanto lo leggono dopo, un'ora dopo. Il video si blocca, sono un po' triste e tutto quanto. Qua la banda è il nostro peggior nemico di oggi, un matchup.
Che carini, di solito mi insultano molto di più.
No, qua non ci sono stati insulti per ora,
No, ma qualcuno, posso leggerlo?
Leggi, allora, leggiamo.
Allora, no, vai un po' su. Vai un
Allora.
po'
Che
su.
parlava del gladiatore.
No, c'è qui che è scritto fatela smettere di ridere, mettetegli qualcosa in bocca.
Vabbè, ogni tanto, dai, quei
Dai,
commenti.
male male.
Uno su tanti.
Vabbè, uno su tanti.
Sì, sì, uno su
Mi sono
tanti.
salvato, dai.
Il video si blocca, vorrei riuscire a vedere la Liliana per più di 2 secondi. Uffa, questi sono anche i commenti. Ma lì è colpa della banda che non regge tutta questa bellezza.
Della
in un
banda
colpo.
Bassotti.
E allora, salutiamo la nostra Liliana. In gran
Sì,
forma.
vi saluto. No, in gran forma no, perché sono 10 ore, sono realmente morta.
No, infatti avevano scritto, la vediamo provata e dicevano,
Ah, veramente?
ovvio che la vediamo un po' così stanca. Dopo 10 ore con quel branco di nerd che ti gira intorno, chiunque sarebbe provato.
No, però ti devo dire che sono molto carini perché non sono sfacciati che ci provano, capito? Invece le persone normali già tutte... No, nel senso non è persone... No, aspetta.
Persone normali,
Non
la risata si
normali.
leva.
Non normali. No, scusa, no.
Qua è partita la
No,
risata.
aspetta che sono 12 ore che sono